Have you ever wondered, what if just 1 hour a day could change everything? Not a week, not a year, just one single hour, an hour. That belongs only to you, untouched by distraction, free from noise, devoted to your growth. That's all it takes. 60 minutes that could reshape your future, redefine your confidence, and rebuild your destiny. The truth is, life doesn't transform overnight. It transforms quietly in the hours no one sees. When the world sleeps, someone studies. When others scroll, someone reflects. When most give excuses, someone gives effort. It's not magic, it's not luck, it's discipline, shaped 1 hour at a time. Think about it. An astronaut doesn't reach the stars by accident. A writer doesn't craft a masterpiece in a single sitting. A leader doesn't rise through shortcuts. Behind every extraordinary story lies an ordinary moment repeated again and again. One focused hour becomes two. Two becomes habit. Habit becomes identity. And identity, that's what builds your destiny. You don't need a new year. You don't need perfect conditions. All you need is one sacred hour to learn, to move, to grow, to pray, to plan. 1 hour that you guard like treasure, because in a world addicted to hurry, your stillness becomes your strength. In a world full of noise, your focus becomes your advantage. And in a life filled with distractions, your discipline becomes your freedom. The people you admire aren't superhuman. They've just mastered what most people ignore, the power of showing up, even for 1 hour. So here's the real question. What could your life look like 1 year from now if you gave yourself one consistent hour a day? You might not see change in a week, you might not feel it in a month, but one morning you'll wake up and realize you've become someone new. Because the hour you thought was small was never small at all. It was the seed of everything you've ever wanted to become. And it all starts with the next 60 minutes. Now imagine what happens when that hour meets purpose. Let me tell you a story about a man who spent a year above Earth. And what that taught us about time, patience, and transformation. Imagine floating hundreds of kilometers above Earth. No sound, no crowd, no shortcuts, just you and time. For one astronaut, that was his life for nearly a year. Every sunrise he saw, 16 times a day. Every heartbeat, a reminder that discipline isn't just a choice, it's survival. Up there, you don't rely on motivation, you rely on structure. Every minute is planned. Every action has purpose. Because in space, even the smallest mistake can cost everything. And yet, that kind of discipline isn't only for astronauts. It's a reflection of what life demands from all of us. Focus, patience, and the courage to repeat the right thing, day after day. Back on Earth, time feels infinite. We waste it easily. But in space, time becomes sacred. Every hour counts, for health, for learning, for connection, for reflection. And that's the same truth most people miss here, right now, in their daily lives. The astronaut didn't grow stronger because of space. He grew stronger because he used every hour wisely. He trained, studied, exercised, recorded, observed, and when he came back, his body had changed. His mind had transformed. He learned that time doesn't just pass. It builds or it destroys depending on how you use it. That's the lesson most of us forget on Earth. We say we don't have time, yet we trade it for comfort, noise, and distraction. We scroll for hours, but hesitate to invest 1 hour in ourselves. We wait for the perfect moment that never comes. But think about this. Every great change in your life will come from 1 hour of courage, 1 hour of effort, 1 hour of self-respect. Just like the astronaut's mission, your journey will feel slow, repetitive, maybe even lonely. But that's how transformation works. Silently, faithfully, consistently. And here's the truth. You don't have to leave the Earth to rise above your limits. You just have to master your time right where you are. Your space station is your room, your notebook, your gym corner, your prayer mat. That's where your growth begins. Any focused hour can lift you higher than you've ever imagined, not above the clouds, but above excuses. Because when you control your hour, you control your destiny. Now that you understand the power of time, let's uncover the secret that turns ordinary hours into extraordinary results. The quiet force called consistency. Most people believe success is born in moments of intensity, a burst of energy, a sudden breakthrough, a single lucky day. But the truth, success isn't built in explosions. It's built in repetition. The real transformation happens not when you do something once, but when you do it every single day, especially when no one is watching. It's not the person who runs 10 miles once who changes their life. It's the one who walks 1 mile every day. Because intensity inspires you for a moment, but consistency shapes you for life. Think of a drop of water hitting stone. One drop does nothing, but thousands of drops, over time, carve through solid rock. That's what your daily hour does. It carves a new version of you, one day at a time. When you show up every day, you train your mind to trust yourself. You build faith in your own word. You stop needing motivation because discipline takes its place. And here's something most people never realize. Discipline is a form of self-respect. It's telling yourself, I'm worth the effort. It's reminding your future self, I didn't quit on you. You see, the greatest victories don't happen in stadiums or on screens. They happen in quiet rooms when you choose to study instead of scroll, to reflect instead of complain, to create instead of consume. Every time you give yourself that 1 hour, you're planting seeds in the soil of your soul. They may not bloom today or tomorrow, but one day they will, and when they do, you'll realize the garden was growing all along. So stop waiting for the perfect day to start. Stop chasing motivation that fades by morning. Start with what you have right now. 1 hour, one habit, one step. Because the person who works a little every day will always outrun the one who works hard once and stops. Remember, your power isn't in how loud you begin. It's in how long you continue. So let the world chase trends. You chase growth. Because the small things you do daily will one day become the big things everyone notices. That's how ordinary effort becomes extraordinary achievement. So what do you actually do in that 1 hour to transform your life? Let's break it down, step by step, into a powerful routine that rewires your mind and renews your purpose. So you understand now, 1 hour can change everything. But how do you use it? What can you do in that sacred 60 minutes to reshape your destiny? Here's the truth. That hour isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters. Because time isn't your enemy. Distraction is. And when you remove distraction, even 1 hour becomes powerful enough to move mountains. Start with 10 minutes of silence. Sit in gratitude, reflect, pray, reconnect with your creator, with your purpose, with the fact that you've been gifted another sunrise to become better. In those moments of stillness, the noise in your mind begins to fade, and clarity takes its place. Next, spend 20 minutes learning. Not scrolling, not comparing, learning. Read something that feeds your mind and uplifts your spirit. Knowledge is nourishment. It keeps your thoughts strong when life gets heavy. Then, take 15 minutes to move your body. Stretch, walk. Breathe deeply. Discipline of the body sharpens discipline of the mind. You're not just exercising muscles, you're strengthening your mindset. Use the next 10 minutes to plan your day. Write your top 3 priorities, not 10, not 20. 3. Clarity creates progress, and progress creates peace. Finally, give the last 5 minutes to reflection. Ask yourself, did I live with focus today? Did I honor my time? Because awareness turns repetition into growth. That's your 1 hour revolution, simple, sacred, and sustainable. It doesn't require money. It doesn't require talent. It only requires intention. Imagine doing this every single day. Within a week, you'd feel clearer. Within a month, more confident. Within a year, unrecognizable. Your thoughts would change, your habits would align, and your life would start to move in the direction of your highest potential. And remember, this hour doesn't belong to the world. It belongs to you. Guard it like a treasure. Protect it from gossip, negativity, and distraction. Because every time you choose this hour, you're quietly rewriting your story. You're proving that greatness isn't about speed, it's about stewardship, and that those who honor time are the ones time honors in return. When you live this way, 1 hour of purpose each day, something begins to shift inside you. You stop chasing who you were and start becoming who you were meant to be. There comes a moment when the routine stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like truth. When that 1 hour no longer feels like a task, but a meeting with your future self. Because every time you show up, you're not just improving skills, you're strengthening the bridge between who you are and who you were created to become. Slowly, quietly, the change begins. You wake up earlier, not because you have to, but because you want to. Your thoughts grow calmer, your confidence steadier. You stop comparing yourself to others because you're too focused on becoming the best version of you. And in that stillness, you realize something powerful. Success isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. When you discipline your time, your words, your habits, you start to align with the natural laws of growth that Allah placed in this world. The law of effort, the law of patience, the law of reward. You begin to see that every moment of self-control is an act of strength. Every hour of consistency is a form of gratitude. And every sacrifice you make today becomes an investment in the peace you'll feel tomorrow. The people who rise in life are not the ones with more chances. They're the ones with more discipline. They choose persistence over comfort, focus over distraction, faith over fear. And that's when something extraordinary happens. You start to believe again. You believe that your life has purpose, that your time has meaning, that your small daily actions are shaping a legacy you can be proud of. No one else may see the work you're doing right now, and that's okay. Seeds grow underground long before they break the surface. Keep watering your discipline, your prayers, your learning, your patience, because one day everything you've been building in silence will speak for you loudly. That's what the 1 hour journey truly does. It doesn't just change your habits, it changes your identity. You stop existing by default and start living by design. And now, it's your turn. The clock is ticking, not against you, but for you. The question is, what will you do with your next hour? This is it. The moment where thought meets action. You've heard the message, you've felt the pull. Now the question is simple. What will you do with your next hour? Because change doesn't begin tomorrow. It begins now. In this very moment, a choice stands before you. To continue living as you've been, or to rise, 1 hour at a time, into the person you were destined to be. Every great journey begins with a single step, and that step doesn't have to be big, it just has to be real. Open that book. Take that walk. Write that plan. Pray with focus. Reflect in silence. Whatever moves you closer to growth, do it now. Don't underestimate what one focused hour can do. It can rebuild your confidence. It can restore your faith. It can rewrite the story of your entire life, because the truth is, time will pass anyway. Days will fade into weeks, weeks into months. But 1 year from now, you'll either look back with pride or with regret. And the difference between the two will be simple: how you used your hours. You don't need to wait for the world's permission to change. You don't need a perfect plan, a fancy place, or endless motivation. All you need is a decision, a promise to yourself that from today onward, you will honor your hour. Guard it like it's gold. Treat it like a sacred meeting with your potential. Because it is. Every sunrise is an invitation to live with purpose, to rise with gratitude, to build a life that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. And when the doubt comes, and it will, remind yourself, greatness isn't built in a day. It's built daily. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present. So take a breath, look at the clock, and claim your 60 minutes. Because the life you dream of isn't waiting somewhere far away, it's hidden inside this next hour. Your transformation doesn't start someday. It starts today. It starts now. Your hour starts now. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends.